Hey dudes, welcome to Splat from the Past, the only 80s themed horror and sci-fi show where things can get totally radical. Now today, I'm welcoming back my old friend, Belinda Balaski. You may remember her, star of The Howling, Gremlins, Bobby Joe and the Outlaws, Piranha, all those classics. She's coming back to talk about some of her lesser-known TV and movie appearances. And I will be calling her right now. So, hope you enjoy my second interview with Belinda Balaski.
Hello.
Hi, Belinda.
Who's calling?
It's Tommy.
Hi, Tommy. How are you?
I am great. Welcome back.
Thanks.
Oh, so how are you doing this morning?
Well, I just got out of the hospital, so I'm trying to gain some stamina here.
Oh, are you okay?
Yeah, I think so. Just, some got me. Anyway, I'm coming back around.
Oh, that's good to hear. That's good to hear.
Yeah, that's why I was a little not sure, about today. If I would. Yesterday I felt terrible, but today I actually feel okay, so.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
Last night I watched that episode of Beretta you were on.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, I've had that. I've had the first season of Beretta for years. I may have watched it when I first got it many years ago. I don't remember, but I watched it again, and
yes, Meg Ryan and I love that segment.
Meg Foster.
Yeah, Meg Foster and what's his name playing my father, Richard Dix.
Yes.
Which was great. It was a really lovely little cast, and we had there was one meltdown on the set, but other than that, everything was all right.
Well, that's of course because Robert Blake is Robert Blake,
Yeah, he kind of had a meltdown. Like he had this whole spiel he was supposed to. I think a paragraph of stuff he had to say, and he was getting it mixed up, and he got all frustrated, and everything went whack for a minute, and I thought, run to my trailer. But, it was one of my first shows ever, and I thought, ooh, so I froze and stopped in place watching this whole thing go down. It was pretty heavy.
Wow.
I think a temper tantrum on stage was interesting.
Yeah, it's a Stephen J. Cannell series, and Stephen J. Cannell was a genius.
Stephen J. He was so loyal. One thing about him is he called us in. I'm sure not just me, but us. My group of actors in for everything. We went in for everything. We had the opportunity to audition for everything, and I don't know what actors do today.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
not the same,
Yeah, back in the day, it was very small in Hollywood, and there was so much camaraderie. Like, everybody knew each other, and everybody recommended each other.
Well, I don't know if there was that much camaraderie, but there was a lot of us were in workshops together,
Yeah.
And so it's like, well, if I don't get it, I hope you get it, and that kind of thing, but, deep down you really hated the person for getting it.
Yeah.
Just kidding. But, there were certain people who were your nemesis, like I had Brooke Bundy and a couple of people.
Yeah.
I walked into an audition and saw Brooke. I go, oh, God, she's here. Which meant either she was going to get it or I was going to get it, It's like always that kind of feeling, But I remember one day walking into my agent's, and guess who had an office there?
Who?
Brooke Bundy. And I said, oh, what are you doing here? And she said, I decided to become an agent. I said, I can't congratulate you more. I was so happy to see her not auditioning again.
Yeah, I love Brooke, and I've had her daughter Tiffany on the show.
she's darling. Are you kidding? Brooke is a doll, but that's why she would get half the parts,
Yeah.
I mean, she was darling. I loved her.
Yep. And Barbara Lee was on the episode.
Huh?
Yeah. I actually reached out to her for an interview, and we're going to do it pretty soon. She sent me a friend request, and I was so honored.
Yeah, she's a sweetheart. I love her. She's a real sweet girl,
Mm-hmm.
Hard to be mad at her when she books a part.
Yeah.
She's got that cute little smile.
Yeah. You were very good in the episode.
You know what?
You were very good in that episode too.
Oh, thank you. I had to play drunk, and I don't drink, so it was very, I don't know, maybe I was a little actory in it, but, I was trying to play something I didn't know how to play. I was so young.
Yeah,
I know. It was fun, though. It was really fun to do, and I love Meg. Meg was just a great mentor on the set for me,
Mm-hmm.
And besides those piercing blue eyes, just his amazing eyes.
Yeah.
It was fun,
Mm-hmm. And then,
it's funny how people don't remember any of the television we did.
Yeah, it's so sad.
It is, isn't it? My God. You audition and audition, you have like 5 callbacks, and you finally get the job, and no one remembers it? It's like, wait a minute.
Yeah, I have a feeling it'll make a comeback eventually.
Well, I hope so, because there were some really good movies of the week that I did, and after-school specials that I did that I think warrant a far more Kratos than they got, They don't make them like that anymore. I mean, it was really Barbara Steele and Dan Curtis that started that whole miniseries thing, And they started that Winds of War and all the really heavy-duty, let's go out there and really shoot the damn thing, type TV series. And so we were privy to a lot of detail and concern and intention that really is not a part of television anymore.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Mm-hmm.
And then you did the classic Cannonball.
Cannonball. It's so funny to me because Cannonball was like doing, Eat My Dust or something, with Ronnie Howard. So they were just so, so campy. Great fun to do, and we're all out in the desert, and Paul's such a gung-ho movie film buff, that every night he'd run drive-in movies for us to watch,
Yeah.
It was very, very cute and clever and fun, and it makes you really miss Paul. And
Yeah.
I remember when Paul afterwards wanted me to do Eating Raoul, I read the script and said, Paul, I can't do this. It didn't read very well. No, he said, and I said, I can't do this, And I guess I offended him so much, Joe said, that he never asked me again to do anything, and I felt so bad.
Oh my God.
Some things don't read well. I mean, even Airplane didn't read well. I read Airplane, and they wanted me for the nun, and I thought it read so poorly. I was like, no, I can't do this stuff.
I can imagine you in that movie.
This is one of the funniest things I've ever seen, and here I am turning it down. Anyway, those Zucker brothers, they're awesome,
Oh, they're the greatest, yeah.
They are. They're the greatest.
Yeah, and Paul Bartel, I think he was a genius. I miss him a lot.
Paul Bartel is such an underrated genius. I mean, that guy, he and Mary Warnoff were unbelievably hysterically funny, and it's like you have to see it 3 or 4 times to really realize how friggin' funny they were.
Mm-hmm.
And well matched, and they were just the nemesis of each other.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's got such a great cast. David Carradine, Bill McKinney, Veronica Hamill, Garrett Graham, Archie Hahn, Carl Gottlieb. Oh, that's a great cast.
Oh, yeah, Cannonball. And it was all done before Cannonball Run.
Yep.
You know, we were about 4 or 5 years before them. Even though you say the word Cannonball and people say, oh, you were Miss Burt Reynolds? No. No, this was before that, you know, and they're like,
Yeah.
before that.
Yeah, that was the first movie I ever saw, by the way, Cannonball Run.
You had to go back and see Cannonball.
Yeah, I saw that years later.
And Veronica Hamill was so wonderful in it. You know, I loved her. I thought she was great. I don't know whatever happened to her, but she was terrific. Fun to work with. Mary Warnoff was a doll to work with. You know, it's just great people to work with. Bill McKinney, I just fell in love with as a person. And of course, here's David Carradine carrying his ferret around, which he denied to the last breathing trough he had. I never had a ferret. Yes, you did, David.
Oh, crazy. Can you believe it's been 40 years since Piranha?
Well, what's funny is, you know, from all that time, I worked with David Carradine, I worked with Bobby Carradine, and I worked with Father John Carradine.
Yep.
But I never got to work with Keith, damn it. I always had a feeling for Keith Carradine, never got to work with him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I interviewed David's daughter, Callista, and she reminds me of him so much.
Callista. I've known her since she was a child.
Yeah, she reminds me of him so much.
Yep. Loud and free and fancy.
Yep. And a good singing voice, too.
And when she wants to.
Yeah. Yeah. 40 years of Piranha. Do you know if there's going to be a special screening for it?
I don't know, you know, because I don't even know who owns the print anymore. Do you?
No.
Right. And I did do a Q&A at a restaurant in North Hollywood of a 16 millimeter print, which was really fun. It was the first time I'd seen the movie in 40 years. I had never seen it again. And to be honest, I laughed at the same places, and I realized this movie really holds up, you know?
Yeah.
Joe's so funny, you know? He's just got his comedy.
Yeah.
And people think of him as a horror film director, but really, the guy's a riot.
Yeah. Comedy horror.
He really is, you know. He's so funny. It's like a roller coaster ride. Any of his movies, you know.
Yep.
I mean, you have to be politically savvy, you know, in order to sort of stay afloat. But you know, he's brilliant. He's so brilliant.
Mm-hmm. You did an episode of How the West Was Won.
Yep, long time ago with Bobby. I thought it was Bobby Carradine and Eddie Martinez.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe Irene Tedrow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got to ride a 6-horse carriage. I mean, I got to pull it in too. Not run over the entire crew.
Nice.
But I did a good job.
You did, yeah. It was a huge production, wasn't it?
What are you calling from?
Reading.
Oh.
Got disconnected, sorry.
That's okay, yeah. You have rain up there?
Not today, but we have had it on and off.
I was also thinking about, it was Irene Tedrow and Ted Gehring that played my parents in that, okay? And years later, like 30 years later, Ted Gehring plays my husband in Second Civil War that Joe directed.
Nice, yeah.
I know, we're there in makeup, and I'm looking at him, and I'm like, I know you. And he's like, I know you too. I'm like, which name? He's like, Ted Gehring. I said, Belinda Balaski. Holy shit, how the West was won? We started laughing. I know, from my father to my husband, you know.
Yeah, it was a pretty big production, wasn't it?
No, it was which one?
How the West was won.
How the West was won was great fun. I mean, it was really like being in a Western, and I loved it, you know, and I loved yelling, hey, cinnamon, you know, to A. Martinez, and, you know, I'm such a fan of A. Martinez, you know.
Yeah.
And you know, and Bobby was in it, Bobby Carradine, so it was actually the first time we worked together. And actually, Ronnie Howard's little brother,
Clint. Clint Howard.
Yeah, Clint was in it. Clint was in it, and so I ended up working with all the Howards. I did that with Clint, and I did Locust with Ronnie Howard, and then and also in Locust, his father Rance played my father.
Mm-hmm.
It's so funny how the business comes around, you know. You end up pretty much knowing everybody you've met. It's like living on a small island.
Mm-hmm. You did an episode of Vegas?
I did, yes, and I will forever be grateful to Will Sampson for that, because I have never awakened late. I always wake up like at 4:30 in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
And I was supposed to be on set at 7:30 in the morning, and that's from Manhattan Beach. You know, I had to get to Vegas.
Yeah.
And I woke up in my bedroom at 7:30 in a complete panic. This is pre-cell phone.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, you know, like, what do I do now, you know? And by the time I arrived on set, it was something like 10:15. When I arrived on set, everybody on the set turned around and looked at me and basically gave me the evil eye. And here comes Will Sampson right across the entire group of people, all by himself with his big long legs. Boom, 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 right over to me. Good morning, Miss Balaski. I said, good morning, Mr. Sampson. He said, can I show you to your dressing room? I said, you can. And he walked me right past everybody and took me right into the dressing room. I mean, what a person.
Yeah, I mean, he was great in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
He was a human being. He was amazing. And he saved my butt that day. He just completely saved my butt. After that, we had a great time. The rest of the day was a gas, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, Viva la Revolucion! You know, my Cuban roots were coming through.
Yeah. Robert Urich, his wife Heather Menzies just passed away recently.
I know, so sad. It was so sudden and so surprising.
Yeah, I reached out to her for an interview and I never heard back, and then she passed away. It was so sad.
Well, I think she knew, but I think she didn't want anyone else to know. And even some people I know that were very close to her were shocked as shit. I mean, shocked as could be, you know?
Oh, you could swear all you want, Belinda.
Well, I don't like to, but, you know, it was very, very upsetting. Mm-hmm. Because, I interacted with Heather all the time on Facebook, you know, and even though she wouldn't come to the conventions or anything like that, you know, because she was really, you know, in an upper echelon of Sound of Music, do you know what I mean? It's like she's not going to show up at a Piranha thing. And yet at the same time, you know, she was our star, she and Bradford Dillman were our stars. And like Joe turned to me the other day and he said, man, there's only 3 of us left.
Yeah.
That's Joe, Dick Miller, and myself.
Yeah, I got to meet Dick Miller last year. Very nice man.
Short though, huh? Did he stand on his toes?
I didn't notice, actually.
Right before a picture, when he's doing a picture with people.
Yeah.
Because the people are 1, 2, 3. Between 2 and 3, he steps up on his toes. He's so cute. I love him to death. What can I say?
Yeah, he's great. I also noticed Kim Cattrall was in that episode.
Yep.
What was she like?
She was great. I mean, we were all struggling actors. We weren't Kim Cattrall yet. You know what I mean?
Yeah. She was super young.
We were
She was
just Kim Cattrall. I was like, I got a job, yay! That kind of thing. And it was, now let me see, with Kim, was that the Simon and Simon?
I'm sorry? What was that?
What show was it with Kim? I'm trying to remember.
It was Vegas.
Oh, it was Vegas, yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, right, of course, yes. That's right. And then I had done something with, I just got her mixed up with, what's her name? White, Alana White. Because I did that Simon and Simon. Mm-hmm. Anyway, it was very TV. People used to watch television back then. Does anyone watch it now? Do you know?
I still do.
Do you?
Yeah.
Do you follow episodics, or do you randomly watch?
A little bit of both. I don't really keep up on episodics as much.
I know, it's hard. It's really hard, isn't it?
Yeah, very hard.
It really is. I mean, the most you keep up with is, American Idol.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, wait, I missed last week. Who won? Oh my God, where'd that girl go? I was like one of those.
You did a movie that was rudely titled Up Yours.
Mm-hmm. It was, wasn't it?
Yeah. It's a great movie. I love raunchy humor.
I'm not sure I ever saw it.
Really?
Yeah, and I think I have this whole phone conversation that, like my audition was the phone conversation, but just my half of the phone conversation. Mm-hmm. And then I understand somebody else did the rest of the phone conversation. So, I'm actually having one, and I never knew that. And I don't even know what it's about. I'm talking right on the phone, playing it like a monologue because, there's no other actor there that I know of. Then I understand the producer came in some kind of, wrong code or something. And it was like, whoa, wait a minute, what happened?
Yeah.
Yours was, as I recall, silly, shall we say?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I had Cindy.
What about things like Are You My Mother? Did you ever see those? Or Proud Men with Charlton Heston and Peter Strauss?
Oh, I've heard about it, yeah.
Those were maybe the week. Well, you know what happened? The night that Proud Men was supposed to air, mm-hmm. Which was October 1st or something like that, we had the earthquake. And all of the promos, all the ads, everything was leading up to this date. And then the earthquake happened that morning, and by nighttime, nobody had television,
Yeah. Was that October of '89?
October 1st, 1989. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I remember that earthquake. I remember just being in the kitchen playing with my brother, and then next thing you know, we heard this rattle of our window. It was really scary.
It was really scary. How old's your brother?
Right now he's 45, and I'm gonna be 35 pretty soon. We're 9 years apart.
Uh-huh. Yeah, Yeah, no, it's really scary. I mean, when the earth, moves under your feet. There's a song in that, I swear.
Yeah.
It's a little funky. You know where else are you going to stand?
Yeah. What was it like?
You always wonder, well, if I'm out in the ocean, would I feel it? If I were up in the air, would I know?
Yeah. What was it like working with Cindy Morgan on Up Yours?
I don't even remember Cindy Morgan. Who is she?
She was the blonde girl in the movie. She was in Caddyshack.
See, I don't think I worked with anybody. I think everything was so separate, and then they cut it together as if we were actually actors working together.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. I have this whole conversation with somebody I never met. And that's all cut. I mean, I didn't know it.
Okay.
Did you ever see Are You My Mother? With Michael York and I?
No.
Oh, I play a bag lady. It's one of my favorite things I ever got to do.
Mm-hmm.
It was very fun, and Michael York was wonderful in it, as always.
Mm-hmm.
And what's his name? Michael, you know the guy that wrote that song, Popsicle Toes?
No.
He was great. I loved him. He was a really good songwriter. I can't think of his last name right now. But he wrote the music for this, and it was a sort of thing about second unit shooting the homeless downtown LA, and basically my character finds my daughter finds my character amongst the homeless, realizing that her mother is still alive and she's been told she had died in childbirth. And so it's one of these yanked heart stories, and
Mm-hmm.
and yet, some things you can't tie with a big pink ribbon at the end,
Yeah.
But it was great fun to work on. That and Proud Men, that was another one that I really loved working on. And Billy Wilder was the director on it, and Charlton Heston was producer, and his son Fraser was the co-producer, I guess. And,
Mm-hmm.
and it was a cast of some serious people like Peter Strauss and Alan, the big football player guy, Alan.
Alan Autry?
Huh?
Alan Autry?
Autry. Yeah, maybe. Could be. He's great. One of the nicest guys on the planet. And it's just a real tough guy story,
Mm-hmm.
And my character is just the girlfriend back home. But it was very fun. I loved doing that show.
Nice.
Yeah. And you go to these conventions and nobody's ever heard of these shows. I have pictures out of things like, where I was nominated for an Emmy for this bag lady, and I have a picture of that, and they just put their purse on it,
Yeah.
While they're looking at other pictures. Like, excuse me, wait a minute, I actually did that job.
Crazy.
I know.
You did Amazon Woman on the Moon?
Thank you. One of my most fun things I ever got to do. They finally let me do comedy, and I was so really nervous because it was Steve Allen and, Henny Youngman and, Slappy White, it's like major friggin' comedians, and
yeah.
I had to roast my Archie Hahn, my husband,
Mm-hmm.
Amongst these major comedians, and I was so scared. And Joe was shooting, it was 5-camera live, so I'm like, oh man, I better do this right. And I had this little hat on and these little shoes, and I was soaking wet from the top of my little hat down to my little shoes. I was so nervous. And I thought, I get introduced, Bobby Picardo introduces me to Steve Allen, and I'm supposed to say, thank you, Steve. And then Steve sits down, and I thought to myself, how am I going to get these guys' attention? I mean, these guys were just cracking jokes from the minute they arrived that morning. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They were on a whole nother plane, They were on their way to Vegas still,
Yeah.
This is a stopover. And they were just shooting them left and right. So I thought, okay, dare I do it? Because if Joe yells cut, I'm going to freak. But I said, thank you, Merv. And Steve Allen, he goes to sit down, like I said, Steve, and he realized I said, Merv, and he did this double take that is just the most priceless thing you've ever seen, and he never took his eyes off of me after that.
Yeah, it's a funny movie.
That was my little secret, but I thought for sure Joe's going to yell, cut, the guy's name's Steve. If he does that, I'm dead.
Yeah, it's a funny movie. I love that movie.
Thank you. It is a funny movie.
Yeah, I love the very first one with Arsenio Hall and that TV. It's so funny.
Hey, he's got some damn rhythm.
Yeah.
It really is it's funnier than one thinks movie.
I agree, yeah. You got to do the very last episode of Our House.
I did?
Yeah. I used to love that show when I was a kid.
Why don't I remember this?
With Wilford Brimley and Deidre Hall.
Did I get to say goodnight, John Boy?
That was the Waltons.
Oh, that was Waltons. Oh, wait. It's all coming back. Almost. I'm racketing focus here. You could remind me more of it.
Let me look real quick here.
No. I got really lucky. I must admit, somebody said to me, you need to write a book about, the 70s and all of that. And I thought, why? And then I realized it doesn't exist anymore. That's why. I mean, it really doesn't.
Yeah. I know so many people.
I think of people like what's his name? Jeez, I can't think of his name. That's kind of stupid, but Stephen J. Cannell and the one that did 90210.
Aaron Spelling.
Yeah, Aaron, who I adored, and Reuben Cannon, and they were like these casting people, and they loved us, and they called us in for everything. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
If you were on their list, you were on their list. And man, you really had a shot. You really had a possibility for a break, and it was definitely do or die time. I mean, I remember going out for Helter Skelter and being asked, would you shave your head? And I said, I don't know. I said, I had really long hair. I said, maybe. Let me ask you this. Why do you think this is a good book? Or why do you think this is something, why do you want to shoot this? And he said, because I think Vincent wrote a good book. And I said, that's not a good enough reason for me to cut my hair. And I said, no, I won't cut my hair. And he started laughing, all of us in the interview. But sure enough, he ended up hiring me for the girl that turns everybody in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I didn't have to shave my hair for that part. But it's funny how casting is. It's really funny,
Yeah.
You never know You never know if what you say is going to hinder you or cut you off for life. I mean, I remember making the cross from the doorway to the desk to come to meet Joe Dante.
Yeah.
And Susie Arnold was in there, and she's like, "Oh, Belinda, this is Joe Dante." And I'm walking. It feels like that walk that never ends, you know?
Yeah.
The person gets farther away instead of closer. and I could hear Joe say, "And we've worked together before on a picture." And I thought, "Oh my God, we did? What picture?" And I'm like racking my brain, trying to figure out what the heck he's talking about. And by the time I made it to the desk, which thank God took a long time, I said, oh my God, you played that little mechanic in Cannonball."
Yeah.
And he did it so well. And from that point on, we were great fans of each other.
Oh, that's funny.
Isn't it funny?
Yeah. Now, in all the years that you acted, did you ever experience any of the Me Too stuff?
No, I don't come off like that when I walk in a door. I walk in the door more like a character actor, and I'm not. I will never look like Linda Carter. I don't have to worry about that,
Ah, but you're a beautiful woman, though.
I know, but I just don't play that game. I just, can't come in like, I'm here to work. What's up?
Yeah.
How much are you going to pay me and what's the job?
Yeah.
I'm not here to socialize, or I don't even go to dinner with actors. I go to dinner with the crew,
Yeah.
It's like I'm just a completely different kind of person than a lot of the actors are. I just am not interested.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to work. I was one of those people who was driven as an actor and not as a movie star or whatever.
Yeah.
And then it went away. It all stopped. One day it just stopped.
Yeah, that's the sad part, though.
It's funny because I had gone to a psychic with Randy Quaid a long time, about 20 years before that. And I remember her telling me that I was going to be shocked when it stopped. I said, "What are you talking about?" She said, "Your desire to act." I said, "That's never going to stop." And Randy and I looked at each other and laughed,
Yeah.
And she went on. I mean, I remember it very well. She was right. It was so shocking. She said, "You're going to build a school, and you're going to have all these children laughing around you." And that's exactly what I did. I became a foster parent, and I wanted to stay home, and so I built BB's Kids, and had all these kids laughing around me and working.
Yeah, that's so amazing, that you found a second life for yourself when the acting roles started to dry up.
And who would have thought? I mean, it was in the teacup,
Yeah.
It was the leaves in the teacup this woman was reading, I swear. I wish I could find the drawing. She was doing this drawing the whole time she was talking, too. And I wish I could find the drawing. It's quite something.
Yeah, do you have any exciting paintings you're working on?
Well, I'm always painting, and I love painting, and I never know the minute the brush hits the canvas if it's going to be junk or not.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm new to it, so it's like always a gamble, shall we say. It's like I don't know, but I'm trying not to be afraid of it. I'm trying not to, be careful. Oh, what if it's not good? It's just a piece of paper, like my art teacher says. It's a piece of paper. Throw it away if you don't like it. Oh, really? I can do that? We take everything so seriously. So I'm just trying to let go and just, like I hadn't painted the whole time I was sick. And I was sick for I was in the hospital 10 days. Oh. And before that I was painting 4 to 5 paintings a day. So it was very whoa, it all came to a screeching halt. And then the other day I painted a painting. I hadn't done it in a long time. And it's grinding out new tools again. You know, I don't know what will come. At this point, I really don't. I have no idea. As a child, I liked to draw, and painting is new to me, very new. So.
Yeah, I wish I had the skill and the patience to paint a picture. The only thing I can paint is my toenails.
I'm the sloppiest toenail painter you've ever seen. I just slop it all over my toes, and then the next day get in the bath and scrub it off around the edges.
Nice.
That's my secret.
What color do you have now?
None.
None.
None. Unless I'm going somewhere, I just don't even bother.
Oh. I have white French tip with sparkles right now.
Oh, there you go. See, you're a better man than I. I should take such good care of my feet.
Yeah, I think everyone should. Let's see. I have some funny jokes I want to tell you.
Okay.
What kind of money do aliens use?
I have no idea.
Starbucks.
Okay, next.
What do you call a midget fortune teller who just escaped from prison?
God only knows.
A small medium at large.
Funny.
And how do you make an orange laugh?
I don't know.
Tickle its navel.
Okay, and with that, are we closing?
Yeah.
We better quit.
Yeah. Belinda, I hope you feel better.
Thank you very much.
Yes, you take care of yourself, and thank you so much, and you have yourself a great day.
Thank you, and you too.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye.
Well, there you have it, Belinda Balaski. Ain't she a sweetheart? Thank you so much, Belinda. It was really nice talking to you again, and I hope you feel better. If you like this video, everyone, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, add me as a friend on Facebook, join my Tommy Kovac comedian page, and follow me on Twitter, and all that fun stuff. Well, that's all the time we have this week on Splat from the Past. Until next time, this is Tommy Throwback Kovac saying, there's no shame in living in the past, because the present sucks. Later, dudes.